First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you were to live forever. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. It is better to be violent, if there is violence in our hearts, than to put on the cloak of nonviolence to cover impotence. Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. It is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty, the ocean does not become dirty. Satisfaction lies in the effort, not in the attainment. Full effort is full victory. An eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. Even if you are a minority of one, the truth is the truth. The greatness of a nation can be judged by the way its animals are treated. Prayer is the key of the morning and the bolt of the evening. There is a higher court than courts of justice, and that is the court of conscience. It supersedes all other courts. Power is of two kinds. One is obtained by the fear of punishment and the other by acts of love. Power based on love is 1,000 times more effective and permanent than the one derived from fear of punishment. Man becomes great exactly in the degree in which he works for the welfare of his fellow men. A small body of determined spirits, fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission, can alter the course of history. In matters of conscience, the law of the majority has no place. The essence of all religions is one, only their approaches are different. Honest disagreement is often a good sign of progress. An ounce of practice is worth more than tons of preaching. When I admire the wonders of a sunset or the beauty of the moon, my soul expands in the worship of the Creator. A man is but the product of his thoughts. What he thinks, he becomes. Action expresses priorities. A nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people. You can chain me, you can torture me, you can even destroy this body, but you will never imprison my mind. If I had no sense of humor, I would long ago have committed suicide. There is a sufficiency in the world for man's need, but not for man's greed. There is more to life than increasing its speed. I suppose leadership at one time meant muscles, but today it means getting along with people. Freedom is never dear at any price. It is the breath of life. What would a man not pay for living? We may stumble and fall, but shall rise again. It should be enough if we did not run away from the battle. A no uttered from the deepest conviction is better than a yes merely uttered to please, or worse, to avoid trouble. Truth never damages a cause that is just. Nobody can hurt me without my permission. I object to violence because when it appears to do good, the good is only temporary. The evil it does is permanent. Prayer is not asking. It is a longing of the soul. It is daily admission of one's weakness. It is better in prayer to have a heart without words than words without heart. There are people in the world so hungry that God cannot appear to them except in the form of bread. A man who was completely innocent offered himself as a sacrifice for the good of others, including his enemies, and became the ransom of the world. It was a perfect act. It may be possible to gild pure gold, but who can make his mother more beautiful? The real ornament of woman is her character, her purity. If we are to teach real peace in this world, and if we are to carry on a real war against war, we shall have to begin with the children. All compromise is based on give and take, but there can be no give and take on fundamentals. Any compromise on mere fundamentals is a surrender, for it is all give and no take. Anger and intolerance are the enemies of correct understanding. The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems. A coward is incapable of exhibiting love. It is the prerogative of the brave. Morality is the basis of things, and truth is the substance of all morality. Whatever you do may seem insignificant to you, but it is most important that you do it. To believe in something and not to live it is dishonest. The human voice can never reach the distance that is covered by the still small voice of conscience. Morality which depends upon the helplessness of a man or woman has not much to recommend it. Morality is rooted in the purity of our hearts. Peace is its own reward. Anger is the enemy of nonviolence, and pride is a monster that swallows it up. It has always been a mystery to me how men can feel themselves honored by the humiliation of their fellow beings. Self-respect knows no considerations. It is unwise to be too sure of one's own wisdom. It is healthy to be reminded that the strongest might weaken and the wisest might err. If patience is worth anything, it must endure to the end of time, and a living faith will last in the midst of the blackest storm. The good man is the friend of all living things. The moment there is suspicion about a person's motives, everything he does becomes tainted. I am prepared to die, but there is no cause for which I am prepared to kill. Nearly everything you do is of no importance, but it is important that you do it. The main purpose of life is to live rightly, think rightly, act rightly. The soul must languish when we give all our thought to the body. In prayer it is better to have a heart without words than words without a heart. Intolerance is itself a form of violence and an obstacle to the growth of a true democratic spirit. Those who say religion has nothing to do with politics do not know what religion is. Freedom is not worth having if it does not connote freedom to err. What do I think of Western civilization? I think it would be a very good idea. Nonviolence is the greatest force at the disposal of mankind. It is mightier than the mightiest weapon of destruction devised by the ingenuity of man.